All right, so now we're gonna be multiplying decimals by single digit whole numbers using an area model. So basically you're just spreading the number out so you understand what you're multiplying by and adding them together, almost like expanded form. Basically expanded form now that I think about it. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the example. So letter A says 7 times 3 and 1200. So I know people that are fluent in multiplication automatically gonna just wanna multiply 3 and 1200s times 7. And you can totally do that, solve the standard algorithm to figure out what the answer is gonna be. And let's go ahead and do that real quick. 2 times 7 is 14. Leave the 4, carry the 1. 1 times 7 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 3 times 7 is 21. And then you obviously need to move your decimals. 21 and 8400ths, which is correct. But they want you to understand that this is the same as this. So here they broke this off. So you're gonna be multiplying your whole number by every number in your place value here. So you'd be multiplying 7 times 3 wholes, 3 ones, which this gives you 21. 7 times 1/10, which really would look like this, 7 times 1/10. And then 7 times 200ths, which would really look like this. 200ths, excuse me. And this would actually really be 1400ths. So for this, you just need to multiply across. Always remember you need to make that whole number a fraction first. And this one's really saying 7/10. So I know it's a little hard to see that, but from here, you would then need to convert that into your new number here. So we have the 21. 7/10 really looks like 0.7, and then 1400ths looks like 0.14. When you add them together, it gets you that. So we're gonna go ahead and do one ourselves. So, and I think I'm gonna do one that's a little bit more challenging. Letter B wasn't too bad, but let's go ahead and look at letter C. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do letter B because these ones have plugins. So if you follow the plugins, it shouldn't be too hard. So my apologies. So letter B says 6 times 4 and 2500. So the first one is gonna be 6. 6 times 4 ones, which equals 24. And you can go ahead and write that if you want. And that means the 24 goes in that first line. So now we're gonna do 6 times 2/10, which really looks like 6 times 2/10. Really looks like 6 over 1 times 2/10, which equals 12/10. Now, this, you can't just put 12 here. That would be incorrect. So I'm gonna have to use paper to show you how to do this. So you can literally divide 10 into 12 if you want to, and I'm gonna show you both ways. So 12/10 can really be solved one of two ways. The first way is to just solve it 10 into 12. 10 can go into 12 once. 12 take away 10 is 2, which equals 1 and 2/10, or as a fraction, it would be 1.2. That's your first way of solving it. The second way of solving it is literally moving 10, a place value of 1 to the left to make your number bigger, because you're making that number bigger, which is still 1.2. I only recommend you do step 2 if you are fluent with your base 10 positions and you know how to move the decimal. Otherwise, go ahead and do this. Just remember that 1 and 2/10 is 1.2. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and write 1.2. Now we're on to the third one, which is 6 times 500ths, which is really 6 over 1 times 5 100ths, which is really 30 over 100. This is going to convert into 0.30. And the reason for that is if you look on a place value chart, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to find mine really quickly. Give me 1 second. It's hiding amongst my big old packet. So when we put this on a place value chart right here, so if we put a 3, oh, it's not here in this one. Let me continue to look for a full place value chart. Okay, this one's written on, but it's still gonna be effective. Okay, so here you'll see my place value chart. We have thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, tenths, and hundreds. Well, we're not looking at these ones, we're only looking at these ones. So if I put a 3 in my thousands place value, it's really gonna be 3 over 1,000, or in this case, it's hundreds, excuse me, 3 in the hundred spot. So it's really gonna be 3 over 100. So in the place value down here, if I put a 3 here, the answer is really gonna be 0.03. So now back to the problem. One second, I'm double checking. Oh, and it looks like I lost my place. Here we are. So now we would just go ahead and add those together, which gives me an answer of 25 and 5/10. And you know, to double check this, I recommend you do use a calculator, because if you're not familiar with this, it is tricky. So here's my calculator. I'm gonna do 4 and 25/100 times 6, and you'll see that my answer is correct. And that's all you're doing here, just making sure you multiply your whole number by each place value in the second number. And go ahead and solve it with the standard algorithm first, so it gives you an understanding of what you're supposed to do.